What up, everyone? DJ Nubis here with you on the Metal Time Radio podcast, doing another movie review. Just got out of theaters watching 65, directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, with a cast of Adam Driver and Ariana Greenblatt. Plot is, after a catastrophic crash on an unknown planet, pilot Mills, Adam Driver, quickly discovers he's actually stranded on Earth 65 million years ago. Now, with only a chance at rescue, Mills and the only other survivor, Koa, Ariana Greenblatt, must make their way across an unknown terrain riddled with dangerous prehistoric creatures in an epic fight to survive. This movie is, in my opinion, like a cross between Jurassic Park, Logan, and Pitch Black. It was interesting because when we did the trailer reaction with Neko and I, Neko actually had a theory that Driver was going to be, his character was going to go back in time to this time period of prehistoric creatures or somehow make it there, because we knew from the trailer he was in a ship. So, but it turns out he's actually a human race from another planet out there, and he gets stranded on Earth 65 years ahead before even all of us, here on Earth now. That's the idea behind it. So Driver plays Mills, who is married, and we get a glimpse of his other planet, Somalis or something like that. I forget what it's, Solaris, some sort of like that. He's on a beach. He's with his wife and his teen daughter. And we find out that his daughter is ill with some sort of sickness, and much like everything else, it costs. So he's getting offered triple pay to go and leave the planet to go transport colonizers to another planet for triple pay. So it's kind of too hard to turn down. He wants to be there for his daughter, but she has her highs and lows, and the mother's saying, it's going to help her if you do this. We know it's tough, but it's really going to help if you do this. But as we find out, as he's transporting these people who are in pods, like cryostasis pods, the autopilot function, which we've kind of seen this in other movies before, detects that they're in an asteroid field and the ship's getting pelted and pretty much disengages. He does wake up. He's not in cryostasis himself, but he was sleeping and gets up and he autopilots it, but it gets hit so hard that it makes the spaceship crash on the planet Earth. But he has no idea. It's they don't have any record of the planet or anything on it, so it's like just brand new to them. So initially when he crashes, he has a readout of all the pods, and the ship gets broken up. So again, his part of it's one place, the other part's on top of a mountain somewhere. But he gets readouts from basically who's alive, who's dead, and there doesn't seem to be any survivors at all. So he's at a low point. He's kind of looking over some old digital clips of his daughter talking to him and contemplates suicide. But then, of course, watching his daughter, he kind of rethinks everything. And so he goes back into his part of the crash and discovers that there's a life force on one of the pods that's not really on the mountain itself. It's kind of like just a few yards away from where he is. And so he discovers that there's a young girl there who's still alive. So he breaks her out of the pod, brings her back to the crash site, but he notices like broken eggshells and stuff like that, knowing that there's some sort of species there. He doesn't even know what it is yet, but it doesn't sound good, in the way he looks at things. And so he's taking care of her because she's still kind of coming out of her cryostasis sleep or whatever it is. So he's got like a breathing mechanism on her, and He realizes that there is an escape pod or ship on the other part of the ship that's on the mountain, which is quite a bit away. But that's the only way they're going to get off that planet. So once she awakens, because like he's out kind of like trying to figure out what it is out there that might hurt them or what they can eat or whatever. And she sneaks out to kind of like look at him and watch him a little bit, and he sees her, and then they kind of had this like weird moment where she's running away from, and then we realized that there's a language barrier between both of them. She came from like a different part of either the planet or something like that where they're from, and she doesn't speak the language. And at this point, it's kind of reminding me a little bit of Logan because there was a language barrier between Keen's character and Jackman's, and that even throughout the movie, there's some fun moments between the two, some heartfelt moments, as well as some tension because their language barriers there. But they manage to work it out. He convinces her they got to go to the mountain to get on this ship and get off the planet. Like, it's just he has to find a way to communicate with her in that respect. So a little bit unbelievable that she picks it up so easily. Some of the things he says and does, but it's a movie. You got to kind of roll with it a little bit there. There's like I said, there's some funny moments that they had there. There's one point where she's picking up some berries and they're not edible, but in fact, those berries come in handy later. But they're not edible, but she's like tossing them while he's walking in front of her, and so he turns around real quick and grabs one. He's like, she was kind of shocked that he was that fast. But the both acting is great in this. That's why I was really impressed with Logan, because of the acting in that between a child actor and the Jackman himself. So same thing here with Driver and Greenblatt, is that they got around. There's good chemistry there. They worked well together with the film. So as they're traveling, of course, to the other crash site to get on this escape ship, obviously they're fighting creatures and they're being tracked and hunted by a particular carnivore, either a T-Rex or some form of that. There's many that they come across that are different types of meat-eating animals. But then he also discovers to a point in the movie where he looks in the sky and he can see like a fireball, and he gets this little thing that reads out like how distance and what it is, and basically it's telling him that there's a huge ass asteroid heading for Earth. So this is pretty much what we're going to say is the planet killer that killed the dinosaurs. So he's there right around the time that the dinosaurs were extinguished from Earth. So, but of course, this is only stuff and knowledge that we would know, they wouldn't. But he knows that shit will like destroy the Earth and kill everybody on it. So he's got to get her to move her ass and get faster to where they're going. But they have to keep dodging like different type of creatures to get there. There is a nice variety of dinosaurs in this film. So for those that enjoy like Jurassic Park and movies of the like, got some really nice looking dinosaurs in here. CGI looks good, not any worse or better than you've seen in other Jurassic films or whatever. Got some good gore, some good jump scares. Only a couple really, so I didn't really rely on that, so that's good. Sorry, cat's just off the hook right now. But anyway, I was kind of surprised. I went to Rotten Tomatoes just to see what the general consensus was after the film, and I was a little surprised that it's at like 36% for the critics. I'm like, that's tragically, grossly underrated. Like, to me, this film is not close to that bad. I don't think there was any audience scores that I saw yet. I just came out. In fact, what is today? Thursday. I was the first one, at least with like 5 or 6 other people at 4 o'clock to go watch this film. So this is at the theater I went, is like the first day of release. So we'll have to kind of see what happens over the weekend, how it does, and what the audience thinks of it. But my rating for this film is definitely going to be like a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I had fun with it. It's not something that you're going to be like, oh, it's the best movie of the year. We see things in this film that we've seen before. It's just done really well. Like, I don't mind that. And I like monsters. I like dinosaurs. I like stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I'm good with that. Like, it's still an enjoyable film. I actually would own this. This is a fun film. Even some of the acting by Driver in this was actually really, really good. Like, there was injuries that he got that you believed the way he was acting throughout the film was like legit. It wasn't like, oh, I got a scrape. I'm Rambo. I can handle anything. That night he was really struggling in here a little bit to get things done. Like, and I appreciate the attempt at the realistic approach to that. Also, I'm just going to leave you with this. Those who want to go see this, I encourage you to do so. But there's a scene where they're kind of like in this little cavern underneath a waterfall. Now, you might have saw part of that in the trailer, but that's not the part that I'm going to refer you to. I'm just going to say pay special attention to Koa at one point in that scene, because she gets something in her teeth. And I'll just leave it at that. Just let you see it for yourself. But yeah, good film. I enjoyed it. Wasn't sure what I was going to see this week because I was contemplating some other films, but dinosaurs, just you can't really pass it up, man. It's a good thing to watch. Anyway, thank you for checking out this this movie review, and go out and see it. It's good stuff. Take care of yourselves.